Religion Tequila.
Next on stage, representing Religion Tequila, founder and tequila prophet, Aiden Utinger.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for having me here. It's a real privilege and an honor to be up here. So somewhere I guess I've dreamed of for quite a while. So I believe that life is all about creating really great stories, and mine started pretty early, but I figured this out around 15, and I ended up, started creating stories. I didn't want to be a boring old man, so I ran away at home at 15, ended up moving to Australia by myself. I'm from New Zealand, in case you can't hear I speak funny. And then after Australia, I decided I hadn't run away quite far enough, so I spun a globe, put my finger on it, landed on the Philippines, and ended up being an illegal alien in the Philippines, sort of unofficially adopted by a Filipino family. And I guess that gave me an amazing perspective on the world and life, and I've just tried to carry that theme through. And that's what brought me to religion. I wanted to create the world's best tequila. So what I did is I looked at a number of the brands that were out there, and I just sort of thought that it was a category that really hadn't really been, I guess, messed with for a long time. A lot of the great tequilas are second, third generation tequilas, and the brands are ones that people can't pronounce if you don't speak Spanish. So I thought there was a real chance to innovate in the space. And to be honest, being so passionate about stories, I just couldn't find a tequila that had a story that I could relate to. So I looked at brands out there that had successful exits, and I tried to identify what were the things that they did that was really good, and sort of compiled a bit of a list. And I found sort of 5 things that were really obvious. So I'll go through them and I'll explain how we've dealt with them. So the first one was a memorable brand. Is it something that when someone sees it once, are they going to remember it? And specifically in tequila, I found that was just something that didn't happen. So religion is the same in French, Spanish, English. It transcends language barriers. It evokes a passionate sort of response in people. They either love it or hate it or whatever it is. It's something that they can feel, they can get in behind. The second is a great marketing. Like I believe that I want to be edgy and different, and push the limits a little bit. So religion obviously lends itself to that. A great team behind it. So that's what I've been spending a long time trying to bring that together, and I think we've got there now, which is awesome. The fourth thing was great quality juice inside it. Why were they so? It seemed like very inauthentic, the tequila industry, because the brands that were the most popular in the States and New Zealand, Australia, were the tequilas that none of my Mexican friends would touch. So I thought, well, we should make sure that the juice inside it is something that Mexicans would, the best tequileras in Mexico would love it. So I went and lived in Mexico for a few months, didn't know anyone, ended up falling in with this really great crowd of Mexican tequileras, and randomly one of the guys that I met, his uncle was the president of the CRT in Mexico, and he's been able to help me and sort of work through and persuade these guys to let me put their juice into our brand, which is a little, they weren't sure how to take it. They thought it might be a little bit risky. So I guess the other thing that I think is really, really important is, it's the overall story, right? So with Religion Tequila, our distillery is actually the highest distillery in Mexico. I think it's the second highest distillery in the world, I believe. But what that does is at the higher altitude, it makes the tequila age a little differently. So we get a very unique characteristic with that. And I always say it's like, we've built the distillery that's closest to God. So that's pretty cool. What else have we got here? Sorry. Oh, so it's been fraught with a lot of obstacles along the way. Our original label was a little bit more risque than this, and I'd spent my life savings on getting this tequila, my first tequila order done. We'd got all the appropriate approvals and everything, and And then, as it was at the border, it was supposed to be on the market 3 years ago, the Catholic Church decided that it wasn't okay, and they stopped my tequila, and I lost my life savings and my whole, so we had to go back to the drawing board.
Wait, the Catholic Church shut you down?
Yeah, we were the center of the biggest controversy over there for a while. I had to fly over. I couldn't afford any lawyers because I spent my life savings on the tequila. So I actually ended up taking a couple of my buddies over who were my marketing guys. Told them to dress in suits and pretend to be my lawyers, And so it was
All right, well, thank you, Aiden. That was fantastic.
Nice.
Let's throw it over to our judges. Judges, take it away.
I can see the first thing I'd see is these kids walking in the bar saying, I got religion.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I feel like tequila right now, everybody's getting on the tequila bandwagon. I mean, from what Clooney just did, he sold it for $1 billion. The country stars started Código. I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of people getting into this tequila business now. How are you going to break through that clutter? And these people have big marketing budgets.
Yeah, well, I've done everything on a shoestring since I've started. It's taken me 7 years to get here because I could only do it bit by bit as I could afford to create the drawings and do the bottle mold. To be honest, I don't actually think it's going to be that difficult because I don't see a lot of innovation. So what we've done is we've done a couple of things. When I walk into a bar and I see people sucking on a bit of lemon, we know they're drinking tequila, right? So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could come up with our own sort of ritual that someone could see him across the bar and not think he's drinking tequila, he's drinking religion. Yeah. So we came up with a flavored wafer idea. So when you get your tequila shot, we now have flavored wafers that will
like your
pair,
first communion.
Exactly. They'll pair with each of the tequilas.
And you got pushed back
that's
from
what
the
it
Catholic
is.
Church, really?
Right?
Well, you can draw whatever parallels you like. They're just the flavored wafer to bring out the flavor of each tequila.
You can do baptisms with it too.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding, God.
But yeah, we've got a lot of very innovative ideas around how we can do that. Also, I couldn't find a great organic mixes. I mean, margaritas are super popular in the States. Organic is a big trend going that way, but people don't have an organic margarita. So we went out and created a high quality organic.
My suggestion would be to stay out of the mix business. It's going to be highly taxing on your budget, and there's so many players in it. There are many organic mixes right now. Probably not as good as yours, but I think that you should stay the course with the tequila. You've got a flavored, you tricked us with a honey flavored tequila here. Could you pass that package over?
Yeah, sure.
Honey flavored something.
Yeah, I smelled it.
So-
I didn't know what it was.
So I'm staunchly, proudly, I love America, I love Mexico, and I'm obviously very proudly from New Zealand. So that's the world's first Manuka honey infused tequila.
I love that.
Manuka honey's got a lot of medicinal properties.
I couldn't pick up what it was. I said, wait a minute, this isn't blue agave. So,
It's got suspended solids in it too. That might be a challenge for the consumer. You've got a little cloudiness in there. That just may be that batch. The name is awesome. I agree with Sid. I think people are going to say, give me some religion. I think that's
Yeah, that was our first batch just to get some product here actually.
Just the name of the drinks, faith-based drinks.
Of course.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
The wafer part, you might want to stay away from.
Yeah, I would
Start
agree with
burning
that.
bars.
Well, when I say wafer, I mean it'll be a flavored disc, but something that's a bit, just a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
I agree with Steve with the suspension of the solids, though. The one challenge we've had, there's been a number of products that have entered the market that have had them. And if it sits on the shelf for a couple of weeks, does it?
Yeah, so this is brand new, and we've talked to our blender about it, and we won't have that problem going forward.
Okay,
so this was just a push to get it here for the show.
You get the particulates out of it. Keep the flavor, but all the particulates.
Absolutely.
out.
So our first proper production one of those.
Let me take a counter approach.
Yeah.
Because I think, again, we make a lot of natural products, and they separate. When you do things naturally, they don't homogenize. There might be a niche in having to explain something different.
Thank you.
So to me, it's breaking through the clutter, and that's my number one concern for you. I think you have a great story.
Yeah.
I think you have a great name. I love the packaging.
Yeah.
The liquid is wonderful liquid. In
That's
today's
unique.
world in tequila, that's not even enough. It's amazing. It is just so crowded and so much diversity and so many different things. You really do need an extraordinary story.
And a great sales team.
And it's going to be tough. But you have some. It's interesting, but it's unbelievably challenging.
Do you make small sizes?
I don't want to discourage you, but it is.
Oh no, I'm used to dealing with lots of adversity.
Yeah.
There's a lot more stuff 5 minutes wasn't time to
Perfect.
tell
Good.
you.
Don't give.
But yeah,
Is it going to be available in small sizes?
yes, yeah.
Because that one specifically, I'm going to tell you something. There is a definite market. Once you
Yep.
once you get it clear,
Yep.
you get rid of the particulates, so you don't. I don't necessarily agree with my friend Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, as an old salesman, you know
He's
that's called
probably
off
right.
condition.
Yeah.
You know, but if you can get small sizes and clear, I think that thing's going to be a winner.
How is your agave source right now? Because agave is shrinking, or there's almost a shortage, and there's a lot of price increases coming. So have you been able to lock in your source and lock in the price?
Yeah, when I went over there, I made sure I found out who made the best tequila, who the best agave farmers were. I mean, I've got personal friendships with the largest grower of organic agave. So we don't have to worry about our supply. Obviously, we have to deal with pricing fluctuations, but we've always got first dibs.
Is this the añejo?
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of oak in here. It's a little cedar or oak heavy on that. What was the aging process on this?
It's aged a little longer, so ours is between 12 and 18 months.
It shows, right?
Yeah. And that's also because of the altitude, and we're a few degrees cooler than anywhere else as well. So it really makes for it's a unique story in that regard as well.
But I agree with Steve in terms of I would start culling things, and I don't want to tell you, I'm very excited about the honey. I mean, the rest of the reposados, and they're good products, but it's a very cluttered market.
Yeah.
I would go for proprietary. I got religion, the honey tequila. And start to get rid of the other ones and just go straight at that market.
I should
All
say
right,
too,
well, thank you,
it's
judges.
organic too.
I agree with you on that.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Aiden, for taking us all to church.
Congratulations.
The man that took on the Catholic Church to bring us tequila.